New presenter with World Crypto Life.
To create some income, you need to get in that market where currency is, the Forex market. That's where you're going to really make a lot of money. And I sure did. That was when things really started to change. So I'm going to share some numbers with you to really help you to understand how big this market is that we're involved with. You're talking about, looking at Bitcoin, for instance, you're talking about a close to $2 trillion market cap. Okay. We're talking about Ethereum being over 495 million. You're talking about Binance being at a market cap of $102 billion. When you think about that space, it's going to continue to grow. They have numbers of Bitcoin reaching around 100,000 by 2030, even close to 1 million, some people are saying. So I want you to keep thinking about that so that as we go through this, you can understand that we are in the infancy of what we're going to talk about today. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. And what we're going to talk about, when I say ground floor, the house hasn't been built. We haven't even found the property yet. That's how early we are with this. And that's where the excitement really comes from. So when you look at Bitcoin, so many people miss that opportunity. I was definitely involved with that opportunity at the very beginning. I can't say I missed it because I was right there. I'm going to tell you, there were so many people that were telling me, Michael, it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that. But I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Because right now, 70% of the transactions in the world right now is completely fraud. And there's got to be a solution for that. And when blockchain came in, it started becoming a solution. Blockchain was actually dealing with other scopes, other businesses before it started getting into the finance world. But we knew at that point in time, it had to be something to address that 70% fraud that's out there. Also, most of the world right now are unbanked. Doing transactions right now, if you have to go to the bank, you have to wait. It takes time. And think about the expense that people have to pay. If you do right now a Bitcoin transaction, I had a transaction that took 2 to 3 days for it to go through. We're going to talk about how things are speeding up. But if you really look at that, you look at these big problems, you're going to start to realize the solutions that we have inside of World Crypto Life. And we're going to talk about that as well. But when people talk to me, they always say, well, Michael, is this going to stay? Is this going to last? Of course. Of course it's going to last because it's something that is speeding up everything. There's countries right now that are using digital currency to speed things up. Right now, the USDT is being used. So we know that there's a paradigm shift. We know things are changing. And so 2009, because of me just being very aggressive and saying to people, look, you need to look at this. Before people were even telling people about this, I was telling people about this because I understood and knew that it was at 1 cent at that time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you had just $100 at that time, I was just doing some numbers and it was pretty staggering actually before I got on this call. And, if you just got into Bitcoin, in 2009, like right now, you will be over $400 million with $100 investment. Just $100. Staggering. So think about all the people that told you not to do that. Think about all the people that say, oh, don't get involved with that. Think about that because they just robbed you and your family of an opportunity that would change your life. I have a friend that literally put $1,000 in and he's at $1 billion today. What is out there that can create that type of change in your life? So let's get into this because I am super fired up because this is something that I love to talk to people about. And we're going to really focus in on these 4 and really 5 different bullet points. One, WCL has a unique system that makes the crypto industry real and attractive. And one of the things that I really enjoy is that we already have an IM Exchange. So if you go to im-exchange.com, we're going to talk about that more. You will be able to see that the IMC token is there. Now, this is on a world-class crypto exchange. We also have a special global debit card that we're going to talk about. We have online shopping. We have an affiliate companies that we're connected with. And this is
all right. Let's go to IM Exchange, see where it's at. All right, so I just went to their exchange. They're doing some remodeling with it and updating on it. It'll be another week before that's complete. But IMC coin is now up to 45 cents. A little less than 2 weeks ago, it was at 31 cents. So it's moving up. If you don't know where the exchanges are, you can't find out what that price is. It's not listed on most major exchanges. So you're getting in at around 4. Let's continue.
Also that we can be able to have a secure account, have easy access without restrictions. So this is what we really have to offer. Now, this can be done anytime. And what do we mean by anytime? Well, World Crypto Life came in with a blockchain opportunity to make it where these coins are useful anywhere, like literally anywhere. On the offline side, we're talking about no more useless coins at all. It helps to develop and innovate opportunities for cryptocurrency users and to use offline and use it offline as well. When you look at that local side, we're talking about bringing the opportunity to explore the future of digital finance. And then we look at that global side, we're looking at that WCL has that unique system that makes crypto industry really attractive to so many people. So, that's some of the things that right now makes this so powerful, because we have a usable token, we have a usable coin, I should say, that really allows us to be able to do what we want when we want to do it anywhere. And I want to talk more and more about that as we move forward. Now, the IMC stands for iMoney Crypto. So it's on the Ethereum-based ERC cryptocurrency. Now, one of the things that I really appreciate, it has that medium that allows users to be able to utilize within the platform. And that's really powerful. But when you look at it being right here in the United States, every single day, I'm doing trades, and really everything rises and falls on the US dollar. So having a token right here based in the US really was the first component that was big for me. I was like, wow, I mean, right now I know that there's something here in the US, something I can touch, something tangible. And I already knew about the state of Wyoming. I already knew that that state was the most friendliest cryptocurrency state, but not just here in the United States, but the entire world. And that right there, when you kind of think about feeling secure, with putting money into something, you want to make sure that you can touch it, because so many people come to me and say, Michael, I want to get involved with things, but, is it going to be real? Is this real? Is this something that I can really feel will be here for years? And being able to know that we have something that's registered here, that we're abiding by the laws, that we have, deep pockets, people that have the capital to be able to make sure that we can sustain the ups and downs in businesses, that is what really creates a person to really say, yes, I can put my money into this and feel assured and feel confident that not only will it grow, but you're safe in what you're putting your money into. So I really like this flow. This flow right here to me was the answer to 10 years of search. And that's really, how are we going to be able to deal with merchants? How are we going to be able to deal with businesses? Because if you look at Bitcoin, we know that it fluctuates. We saw this year, we literally saw Bitcoin go from 63,700 and some change under, 30,000 this year. The volatility. How can a merchant feel safe that when you come in and you make a payment of $5, let's say we go to Walmart and we make a payment of $5, we know that Walmart will not accept it because it fluctuates. They can't see $5 go to $3 because they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a day. So they're not gonna look at that and be like, oh, well, we're gonna accept this because it's not stable. So as we continue, we're gonna talk about how we have what I call like a stable, voucher, right? It's like a stable voucher that allows us to be able to do transactions without the fluctuation. So when you look at the IMC token being right here in Wyoming and then having the ability to be able to move through merchants, that's to me what's the answer to something that I was looking for so many years. And I hope that's the case for you as well. But the IMC literally goes through our im-exchange.com and it can go right to your Bank of America card. That's the card that we were referring to that you can use. Just think about the purchases that you want to buy, a car, Maybe you want to buy a house. We have people right now on this call that literally have bought a car. And when they talked to that individual, they said to him, look, did you know that I use digital currency? And the person was like, no. Well, this is what we've used, and we've been able to pull people towards us because people want to be involved with digital currency. They just don't know how. Now, with this G Point, we're going to talk about this more, but the G Point community is really what makes this flow possible, because now we're in a situation where when we go to these different merchants, we can now be able to have this stability of knowing that that $5 is going to be $5 today, tomorrow, a week from now, and a year from now. And you're going to be able to enjoy being able to work with people all over the world because of that. So this is really the component that really drew me to this and really said, Michael, I can really place major coin into this because I knew that it was going to be a solution to a major problem that is out here. Now let's talk about this exchange. This exchange came out in November. But some of the things that I really appreciated about it is that you can do 1 million transactions in 1 second. Why is that important today? Well, if you're trading or if you're selling or if you're buying, you need that transaction to be fast. As I talked about before, I had a transaction that went through Bitcoin and it literally took 2 to 3 days. I wasn't sure if it was going to go through or not. But with this, I have literally used the G Point and have watched in nanoseconds me send money to individuals, and they said, I received it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what people are looking for right now. They're looking for speed. They're looking for low cost. They're looking for something that can move quickly. And that's what really is going to create the essence of when people say, why do you feel so sure about this? Well, I feel so sure about this because I understand from past endeavors that this digital currency that we have is unlike any of the ones out there. This one is way beyond those. And as we move forward, I'm going to talk about some of the success that has happened within people that I've talked to. And this is, to me, is going to be way better than all of those. Now, let's talk about the debit card. Now, we're not talking about, just any debit card. There's debit cards out there. There's MasterCards and Visas, but not one that is being connected with a bank like Bank of America. That is just unheard of, and being able to be connected where when we're doing our transaction, we can just go from digital currency right to being able to have USD or be able to do transactions. That is what, people that are not as involved with digital currency can now be a part of this, because this is just something that people naturally do. People just naturally pull their card out when they want to do a transaction. So being able to have no limit for shopping and transferring, all of that's going to incentivize people to really get started with what we're doing because of that, because of the convenience, because it creates that lifestyle that, hey, this is.
All right, we'll come back here. I've got to make a record of some of this information and move on. Hold on. Now, some critical things that Michael's talked about. You have to be able to have this exchange and this currency go to real live national currency, US dollars, and so forth, and they've got it hooked up to a bank. All this stuff is critical, and having the stability so it's not jumping up and down radically like Bitcoin is, that's a real problem. I mean, the investors really love the radicalness of Bitcoin, but businesses, not so much. So let's continue.
Something that I can do that I'm used to doing. Now, again, with the G Point, this dollar for dollar, to me, this was the moment, because now we're in a situation where, people are always looking for rewards. There's so many people I know right now that have points and they just travel for free. They really focus on this. So having this involved where we have this 1-to-1 ratio where now we can actually be able to shop, we are able to travel, we're able to utilize this currency and things that we're doing. This is going to give us so much ability to just really be able to have the success that we're really looking for. So we've seen over last year and this year, e-commerce. We've seen how powerful it's been because of, unfortunately, COVID and things of such. And we've seen that, but now we can look and see that we have the ability to be able to shop online, to be able to have things come to us, to be safe.
Okay, I got to go to this gpointmarket.com and take a look at it too. I'm learning and growing in this too. And this space is always evolving. And like the internet, it is always going to continue to evolve. But how usable is it? That's the real question. All right, the question I have is, with the banking card you can buy outside of the gpointmarketplace.com, what are the advantages of doing the gpointmarket.com and getting a business into that gpointmarket.com as a partner? They've explained the benefits of that, and I assume that he will too. So here goes.
You know, there's so many people that want to shop. There's so many people that want to be able to utilize digital currency. And we have another card, which is the G Point card, Visa, that we can do that with. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is just something that just increases and grows. We also have the side of being able to have these relationships with over 13,000 merchants out there right now. You know, I was actually talking on a call with John and Francis, and we were just talking about how there's 13,000 different merchants connected. And we all have an opportunity to be able to create income from that. You know, you're talking about them having banners and being able to get their business out, to be able to get their business to the world. So when that's happening, you got to think about the usability of our token, you know, and of our coins being able to be used for these transactions and being connected. You know, think about all the other coins when someone really big comes in and they start to connect, right? They're able to now increase the amount of purchases. More people buy the coin, right? So this is going to really be big for us, that, you know, customers can purchase this, that we can connect with these businesses. And we're going to talk about more of that as we go. So the ecosystem. You know, you can join WCL. You can actually literally with the G Point, charge G Point and use the G Point. In what ways though? Well, you're able to buy your membership packages. There's multiple packages that you can actually acquire. You can actually travel. You can gift to other members, literally amongst the group. I'm going to tell you right now, there's so many of us right now that we do this every single day. There's so many people that have supported me in this endeavor by just gifting that so that we can get people started. It's a whole ecosystem just for that. To be able to withdraw the crypto wallet to different exchanges, to transfer to a Visa, to be able to shop. So we're now talking about not just a token, not just having this voucher, but being able to do multiple things that all of these other tokens can't do. That's what makes it so incredible with this, because it's so usable. Now, these G points, we all also can earn G points from bonuses and overrides. So before we go into the marketing, I want to kind of take some time to really just go over the opportunity that we have, because, you know, things that I get involved with, I'm going to tell you, you normally have to have $1 million just to be able to participate in it. You normally have to have an entry fee of $125,000. So when I saw this and I saw that it was for the masses, that individuals right now can participate as low as $100, that to me was incredible to be able to do that, because normally you have to do more, right? So a person can come in just at $100 and become a member. You could come in as a senior member at $500. You can come as a bronze member at $1,000. You can come in as a silver member at $2,000. Gold member at $5,000, platinum member at $10,000, and a VIP member at $25,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to kind of give you an understanding on how big this is. And we can just track back just like we did and just kind of take a look at, again, if we had an investment of $100 in Bitcoin, and we can't say that past success is going to bring future success. We can't say that. But what we can do is, just like traders like myself, is use that as an analysis to get you to understand. Because, you know, when you're getting into any trade, I always tell people there's 3 things that you really need to understand. You need to understand technical analysis. You need to understand fundamental analysis. You need to understand sentimental analysis. And all that really means is you need to be able to understand the numbers. And right now we understand that digital currency is just exploding right now. We understand that if we look at the news these days, that's what people are talking about. And we also understand that the sentiment is that people want to put their money somewhere where they do have an opportunity to make around 1,000% a year, right? So if you just, again, if you just did $100, you would be at 427,985,000 and some change, right? That's where we are right now. So if you just look at $100, you're looking at being able to have around 312 tokens. And we're going to talk about that as we continue, but just kind of think about what you would be able to do with the income that can be created off of this. So this chart is perfect because it shows you that there's 322 tokens that you get. And so I just want to kind of have you look at this and just kind of look at it from a blueprint of, where can I get started and, what could my success possibly be? Every time I get into any token, I'm literally at around 50,000 tokens that I come in. And this is not something that you have to do. I'm just letting you know that, people want to be able to retire at around $5 million. And this is, if you're taking notes, you want to take notes on this because this is really how you can just create a blueprint of how you can become successful over and over and over again. I have watched people create millions of dollars in the investments, in the things that I've done in the past. And I'm trying to just make sure that y'all really understand that clearly. If you look at just 50,000 tokens, right? If you look at 50,000 tokens, when it gets to $100, you're at $5 million that you've earned. 5 million. And that's how you want to really scale it as you're looking at it going through these benchmarks of $100 to 1,000. We're not saying that it's a guarantee on this, but if you just look at past history of these tokens that were less usable, and we just use that as a scenario, we can see that getting to $100 is a very high possibility, right? Getting it to $1,000 is a high possibility. If Bitcoin could get to 63,700 per Bitcoin, it is very probable that this token that is more usable can do the same. So just check these numbers out. Because, as you start to make your decision, when you're looking at this and saying, what should I start with? What should I get started with? What should be the number? It's all about a goal, So if you're at 325, let's just say, not saying it's going to get to this, but let's just say it does get to $1. You're at $312. When it gets to $10, just for $100, you're at $3,125. When you get to $100, you're at $31,250. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen anything like this space. Anything I do that brings in that type of income. So I want you to just think about that. So as you're about to make your decision, think about where is it that I want to be? Just, I always have some people say, I'm just going to kind of get a feel for it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying a lot of people do that. They just want to get a feel. But truly, is that going to get you the results? I have so many people say, well, I've gone online, I Google certain things, and I said, listen, true investors, individuals that really put funds into things, one, if you're in the currency, you're going to go to Forex Factory. You're going to go to Bloomberg. You're not going to go to these other platforms. You're going to go there. You're not going to search for certain things because that's not how you actually take action in investing. You want to use past results to be able to say, okay, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at these major things, and this is what's going to cause me to be able to create success. So let's look at those 4 things before we go into the next side of this. Let's look at these 4 things so that, it's clear. Number 1, the token was created in Wyoming. The marketing leg, it's in California. It's right here in the US, registered. Number 2, we have the G Point community, 13,000 merchants. We're looking at going to 100,000 merchants by the end of this year. Next year, who knows what the number is going to be. That's creating a community that knows about G-Point. That's creating that stability that when we do a transaction, we know it's going to be stable for us and the merchant. The third component is the Bank of America card and also the Visa card, allowing us to now be able to do these transactions, buy a house, buy a car, do all the things that we need to do, right? And then let's talk about the last couple of things here before we move forward. Let's talk about the worst case scenario. Every single time, I talk to individuals, they always say, what's my worst case scenario? Well, if you go on the im-exchange.com, you're going to notice that our token is at 45 cents and you're purchasing at 32 cents. Really, truthfully, the worst case scenario with this is you're going to really double your money, right? It's your worst case scenario with this. When you look at the speed of this, you're looking at something that is quicker than most exchanges that are out there. So when we really combine all of this and we really see that these are the components, that's what really makes this so powerful. The last thing is this: what creates the lack of the pump and dump? Because, so many people like, well, Michael, hey, look what happened with Bitcoin. It went up to 63 and it dropped down and all of this. We have the same type of feel here. Well, this whole year, we've watched the token go up because it's locked for 6 months. We're selling close to 3 million tokens every single week, right? So when you start thinking about that, when I'm putting my funds into something, does that seem like a stable? It doesn't seem like something that's going to continue to rise. Yes, because it's locked. We're not selling. So that means the token's going to continue that. It's going to continue to rise in value. And then even after the 6 months, you're only seeing 10% of that token being able to be sold each month, which stops people from just manipulating and putting millions and billions of dollars just so that we can see it go up and down. So when you start looking at all of these advantages, I always tell people this is what you want to get involved with. I got in things and I've done extremely well, but nothing has had a system and an ecosystem. We can't say guarantees, but this is the closest that you can get to it, right?
I can see why they're doing this, but I personally don't like it being held for 6 months. But they've got to do what they got to do because they understand the business side of this.
So like I said, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. If you're a person that is looking at this, it's magnificent. It's absolutely magnificent. So if you're a person this is the part that you were looking at, you're looking for the part to be able to put your funds into something, to be able to, see it grow passively. This is the answer to it. So definitely, number one, before we go to the next thing, get back with that person, tell them, hey, this was awesome, but maybe I have some friends that will want to be getting it started with it, or you may have a two-person that way you say, look, I just have a few questions. We're definitely here to support you with that. And of course, we're going to continue. And then the third person is a person that says, look, I'm ready to get going with this. If this is you and this has been enough for you to make a decision, this is the time. Right now, we're at 32 cents for now. We know by tonight or tomorrow morning early, it's going to be 33 cents. So you want to take action. If I didn't take action at 1 cent, I wouldn't be here with Bitcoin. If I didn't take action when I did Ethereum, if I didn't take action when I did TRX, I wouldn't be where I am today. You have to take action. You have to leap in the pool. You can't just put your toe in it to get the results that you're looking for. So again, come up with that plan. Try to figure out exactly how you're going to come in, the amount that you're going to come in at. And then make it a plan to get back with that person so that you can start to get and realize your goals. But
now, I have to admit, I put a little money into this, 100. I put money into other things. But basically, if you don't have money to invest and to risk, I really wouldn't recommend it. I think I'm dabbling with a lot of things, but I need to get into a money-making machine first before I invest and get out of debt, get the basics solid, and then consider investing. So we're going to end it here and go from there. Good day.